welcome to Basically MTG. I'm your host Synergistic, and today I'll be joined by Reptile and Nate to talk about, well, basically MTG. In today's episode, we're covering the illustrious and controversial Universe Beyond set and how they fit within Magic the Gathering. If you want to be part of the conversation, feel free to leave your thoughts about the episode or anything you think we missed in the comments section down below. We would love to hear from you. Also, don't forget to follow us on our social media to keep up with what we're doing and brewing here on the channel. All links are in the description down below. Before we get too far into this conversation, we should probably address the big question, which is, what is Universes from Beyond, and how do they fit in within Magic the Gathering? So, first, what are they? To put it simply, i.e. the TLDR, they're unique sets and special releases of cards that are based on stories and franchises outside the world created by Wizards of the Coast, so essentially different IPs. This includes many things from the first of the kind being The Walking Dead from 2020, and to most recently the Transformers, and even to the most recent one that will be released in a couple months, Lord of the Rings. Some of these cards are reprints of older cards, given new names and arts, while others are brand new cards with unique mechanics and can only be found within specific releases. Now that we kind of have that covered up, let's just jump into the conversation. Alright, Reptile, what do you think about Universes from Beyond?
I'm overall pretty neutral on them. I like some of the series they come out with. I don't like some of the series they come out with. But overall, the cards seem like they don't completely break the game. This is coming out before the Lord of the Rings one, so we'll see how that turns out and that ages. But I don't think it's an issue as long as the printing is kept up with, and what they said about 6 months after we want to reintroduce these as traditional Magic cards. It's been inconsistent. The Walking Dead has been, I believe was the first one, and it still hasn't been reprinted. There are chase cards in that set, or that collection of commanders and things for Magic, like Rick and to a certain extent Daryl. But yeah, and those are cards that are used in multiple formats and are climbing in price and haven't been reprinted in years. So I think as long as they just step up with the printing, I'm completely fine with it. What about you, Nate?
I'm all right with them. Some of the Universe Beyond stuff's not for me. Some of it's cool. And then it seems like only a few certain cards from all of them even see play, like you said, like Rick and sometimes Daryl. The Stranger Things, there's a couple of those guys that pair up, and there's people running those decks, and they do some cool stuff. And then the Transformers, like the only Transformer anyone ever talks about is Slicer. Hey guys, I'm playing Slicer. Yeah. I love Slicer, and I'm just like, bro, cool. So, as a whole, I guess it's whatever. If you like them, you like them. If you don't, you don't. When we get a Ninja Turtles Universes Beyond, then I'll be on board. That'll be cool.
That sounds like a good one. Yeah. There's companies or people that do like alter like sleeves, and people use alter sleeves. So I generally don't see a difference between using like an alter sleeve and then like a reskin like secret Ristic Study from like League of Legends, or like round 2, which is like Seize the Day, or some of those cards. I see next to no difference with those.
I really think I was going to bring up the League of Legends one, because I think that one was one where it was the safest that they've done it, because they were just reprinting, and they were also reprinting, like staples, like good cards within Ristic Study, round 2, I forgot which one, Final Fortune, I believe it was, or something of that nature, Take an Extra Turn.
Yeah, they reprinted a bunch. They printed Path to Exile, Command Tower, and I know this because I personally used League of Legends reskins. I'm a degenerate. I watch League of Legends, so I very much enjoy that one. I've used Will and Mike as well, so I do have those secrets. I have used a couple of them. I don't care. Yeah, we did a showcase video for Shang-Li and Will and Mike, and a couple other ones as well, like Rick as well. And they're just cards, they're cardboards. Like we all understand why Wizards is doing this, right? They're trying to get new players that enjoy the show into Magic the Gathering, right? That's not bad, right? It's at the end of the game. At the end of the day, it's more people playing the game. So, if you don't like them, that's okay. There's other Magic cards for you.
It's like the 40k one with Najila, right? That's where she's from, reprinted. Oh, and that's the only Najila I see at the LGS when I go play on Saturdays is that's reskin of her, and it's like the ugliest one that they have. So, I mean, if you like it, you like it, and if you don't, then whatever. I mean, it's not like anything, oh, I don't like those. They're not going to be like, oh, we can't print these anymore because Nate in Colorado doesn't like those.
Yeah. So the counter argument, or one of the reasons people, as I understand, don't like the proxies or the reskins or anything that have to do, not proxies, sorry, the reskins or, use the mechanically special cards, is because it ruins the escapism, the magic, or the fantasy world, the world building the magic provides and brings. So, that kind of puts into like a bigger question of like, does this fit into Magic the Gathering? Bringing like Transformers or like guns, which is the Walking Dead, or even Warhammer 40k. It introduces things that are not part of the world building that Magic happen. And so the meme that gets passed around is like, for Crackboard, the comic, is like, I'm blocking with SpongeBob while Iron Man's flying across, and Disney or this or that. Funny meme, but that is like, now that we're all okay with it now, does it fit into the game? Should it be part of the game, or what do we think about that, Reptile?
I think I think, like I said before, with their reprinting of them in a more Magic-like setting is good, because they get time to kind of see how people like these cards, and then honestly just kind of form around. I like the new art and the design for the Chun-Li one, because I looked that one up. I was like, oh, I got excited because it looked like a familiar card. I'm like, oh wait, this is Chun-Li. So I think overall it does fit in eventually, but like we said, if you're not really printing them, and I just have to look at Rick staring me down every time I place Winota, like I get kind of taken away from the fact like, oh yeah, I'm here, and then now it's just I'm losing a Rick, and I'm thinking of like quotes from The Walking Dead, stuff like that.
Carl!
Yeah, even one of the franchise that was featured from this, Fortnite, it kind of faced similar scrutiny because you can play as like Superman gliding over, and then you're shooting like I don't know, just Master Chief or something. It's some random stuff where it starts to dilute the game in a sense, and it takes away from some of the original art and design, from not even the game mechanic perspective, but just the overall flavor. Like they kind of have a line going, we're following storylines, like right now March of the Machine, and then recently revealed March of the Machine Aftermath that we're getting, so where there's a continuous timeline, and sometimes it breaks off. But as long as, like I said before, as long as the reprints are there and they take the time to really incorporate the actual like MTG card into it, I don't see it as a problem.
As far as like being a problem, I don't see it being a problem. As far as it like fitting into the Magic art and history and lore, I don't feel like it does, but I mean, there's nothing we could do about it. But I don't think like Slicer and Tesa hanging out together, like that doesn't make sense. Yeah. Or, some of 11 the Mage is kicking it with Atraxa somewhere. Like, no, that doesn't, I don't. As far as them meshing together, it seems kind of ridiculous. But if it works, it works, I guess. I mean, none of the cards have been like super busted. Yeah, Rick's strong, but whatever. Swords of Plowshare or a lightning bolt and kill somebody. So I don't know how strong Rick is. He might be a 3-4 or a 4-4 or a 3-3. But
aren't you another
I mean,
player?
yeah. No, I took that deck apart.
He only plays Najila.
I only play Najila and bad stuff.
He plays that Warhammer 40k one too.
Yeah. I got all those.
Yeah.
Yeah, from a collector standpoint too, I guess it's cool. If you like Magic and you like 40k, then rad. I like the Surge foils from the 40k stuff.
Sure.
I'll rock those Command Towers and Soul Rings, but any of the other stuff would just never appeal to me. There might be a card here or there, but yeah, as far as does it fit or belong, then I guess the answer, in my opinion, would be no. I don't think Transformers belong in Magic, but
yeah, I guess I'll kind of add on to you guys as like belonging arguments or just a different thought. So some of the secret layers, and Reptile, I know you like your boy Winor that looks like a meme or a troll.
Yeah,
that doesn't fit into Magic the Gathering either. Let's be quite frank here.
It's ugly.
Yeah, it looks like a Squidbillies character.
Yeah, there's a lot of secret layers that like do not look like they fit in at all. Like there's like an Ulamog eating cereal. That doesn't seem quite right into the Magic the Universe. There might be issues with those cards too, but I haven't seen any backlash for those as much as like we saw for Universes Beyond. I think it's definitely calmed down. I think people just kind of like relax about it after The Walking Dead and shortly after some of them. But quite frankly, some of them, to reiterate, some of the secret layers do not look at all like Magic cards either, and that's okay. Like people express themselves like they want to. If they want to play a meme card, by all means, go play your meme card. As long as I can understand what it does.
Yeah. If anything, I Dr. Vuski is infamous for running those tutors, like that Grim tutor that's literally just a black. It looks like a metal sheet, and you can barely read anything on that. I'd rather be staring down fucking Superman and like when I can actually read it. So I think that does bring up an interesting point of, is this even the start of them muddying the waters and just like you said with the secret layers? Like, are we talking about this too late? Has it already been happening this whole time where Ulamog's eating cereal and there was that just random promotions for everything. So the Squidbillies Void Manure, like you said, like it already seems like we're kind of there. This one's just more pronounced. Like this is from this franchise. So
yeah,
I can appreciate the fun art stuff too, though, like Ulamog eating cereal or the Void Manure that looks like the Squidbillies, which is totally true. It does. It's so ugly. I hate that card.
It is. Here, finish your point. I'll bring something up for the camera.
Yeah, visual aid. Visual aid.
Yep.
There it is.
There it is. Look at it. Yeah, so this doesn't look like a Magic thing. This looks... I mean, I guess it could, but...
Yeah.
Before.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. And then now that gets us off into a different topic, just all in general about secret layers. Like, some of them are spot on, and then they have guest artists and stuff, and some of the, like, the foreign artists, they do, like, the traditional art for where they live and things like that. And if you compare that to a normal Magic card, I guess then those don't really go together. So that I don't know. I feel like that's different from the Universes Beyond stuff too. That's more like an artist showcase, and then that kind of feeds into what the professor says on Tulare Community College. Like, if you like it, buy it. If you don't, then don't buy it. Even if the value is not there. Like, if it's an artist that you like their artwork, then support the artist and buy their art. And if not, then don't. So
yeah. It's almost like if you can connect with the art, then like there's some arts like, oh, that art's really cool, like that basic island that I can literally read through the whole text of what an island does when you tap it. Like, it's like full art, full text island. Like, if people buy with that, then again, to each their own. So I think those are kind of the same things, escapism. I can get that sometimes when you're playing a game and someone does cast like this meme card, you'd be like, okay, well, that's not really part of Magic, but whatever. I'm chilling. I can read the card. I can understand it. Like, whatever. I'm here to beat you or play the game casually or whatever. So I think the only issue that can come with this, as we kind of established, is unique mechanics, and then the fact that you have to wait potentially 6 months after the fact of these cards get released. Potentially, it could be more, it could be or less, to be able to use a card that you prefer to use. So that can be an issue if you have to essentially use this card you don't want to use if you're really opposed to it. But I mean, are you really gonna not use a card that you can use or wait 6 months to use it out of principle?
Yeah, I think it's kind of going back to what you said before. Like, we said one of the best things is Rick, and it's like it's in a couple decks or something. If there was a card that was as good as Najeela, but it had the same rarity and just limited printing as Rick, do you think it'd end up being more of an issue, Nate?
I mean, I don't know. Najeela's an alright card. It's not like the all-seeing, most powerful card ever.
I'm saying, like, the popularity of Najeela. Like, if it were as a commander, like, this is one of the best ones you can run, and it gives you a lot of flexibility. And it kind of how their reasoning behind Golos. Like, if it was a card that was as ubiquitous as Golos, but it had that rarity to it, do you think then it starts to become a problem?
I could see it being a problem. I know with like the current list that we have for Universe Beyond, there's not anything that just sticks out, and I'm just like, you can't beat it. Once it happens, it happens. Like, even the
Wait.
alt art for the Void Winnower.
Are you saying
You can still
Slicer
deal
doesn't
with
win?
I mean, not often.
Sorry, Slicer
You would,
players.
think, you would think with 4 of them running around at the LGS, one of them would figure it out.
Yeah, bro, we're trying to reach out at the LGS. Meanwhile, you're slandering half of them.
It is half of them. More than half of the population plays Slicer on Saturday at the LGS. Just a
Yeah,
braid.
full slicer pod. I remember hearing about that. Glad I wasn't in that, dude.
I could see like if a card was overpowered and it only came in a secret layer, maybe. But I mean, we're not even talking about just secret layer stuff either, because Universe Beyond Transformers, and then what? The Lord of the Rings set's a whole set
Yeah.
from beyond the universe. So, yeah, but nothing else has come out that's been. I mean, they haven't banned anything in a long time, and everybody was on the, Sauce's Oracle's so strong, and we need to get rid of it. And then they're just like, hey, here's a sweet secret layer of it.
Yeah.
So,
And demonic consultation.
right? So I don't see currently there being anything that's come out from the Universe Beyond being a super pain in the butt, but there could be something that does come out that could be it's hard to deal with, or game winning. You get on the table and I win,
Mhm.
something like that.
Yeah, I think overall it's and we're also looking at it entirely from the perspective of Commander, because I know that this new Lord of the Rings set is going to be modern legal, right?
That is correct, yes. And Legacy
So-
and...
So when we're talking about Magic the Gathering in general, maybe we're just looking at it from the perspective of Commander, where it is intrinsically a more casual format. I know that there have been some complaints about Rick and Legacy because you're already taking mono white, and that goes into a whole nother thing with initiative and just mechanics that were made for Commander and didn't really translate over well. But a lot of these seem to be, I don't think Vintage and Legacy players are looking to, play Will and some other random thing that they can't partner with when they have that partner mechanic. So it definitely is. This Universe Beyond seems like it's geared more towards casual Commander, and then every once in a while we get a bomb and it ends up being in CDH, but we'll have to see how it affects Modern, because you can argue that it already has impacted Legacy negatively with mono white. So
Yeah, I mean, it's good to, bring in the other formats as well. Like you said, Modern. I think, so to be clear, only The Walking Dead is legal. Actually, not even The Walking Dead is legal in Modern. Only Lord of the Rings will be legal in Modern. Everything else is Legacy and every other Eternal format. So we'll actually see how this impacts the Modern, meta, which you can argue if it is at a healthy state with the monkey just running around. So that's a good point to bring up.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of experience with other formats. I tried playing Modern for like 4 games, and I was like, well, that was fun. So just EDH and then competitive EDH. I feel like the Universe Beyond stuff's more of in the EDH side of it. If you're a fan, then sweet. If you like all the Walking Dead stuff, then cool. There's some Walking Dead cards. Even if you just want the zombie token. Or if you like Transformers for nostalgia, then you have that. I know over in my collection binder, I have a foil and a non-foil of each Transformer, and I'll sit here and talk bad about them all the time, but I still have them over there because that's what I grew up with, was the Transformer stuff.
Mhm.
So, and then, yeah. Just all, if it speaks to you, then play it. If it doesn't, then don't. I don't have, whatever. I like Rick. Rick's the one card from this Universes Beyond that I do play like consistently.
mhm.
Nice. Well, I think we have literally the coldest take on Earth. Do what makes you happy. Live and let live, guys. I guess,
That's it.
to the audience, if you're still watching us, feel free to let us know if you disagree or agree with us. We don't want this to be an echo chamber with us three agreeing. If you do think there is like a harm to, the escapism that's ruined, because, when you're watching a TV show or a movie and like somebody makes like a current era joke, I can understand how that escapism that the movie brings takes you out of the movie completely. So I can see that in a game as well, probably to a lesser extent, but it's still a valid and valid feeling you can have. So if you disagree with our take, please let us know. I'll read your comments and I'll reply for sure. But with that, I don't know if Nate or Reptile, if you guys have any other closing thoughts as we kind of wrap this up.
Yeah, like you said before, get what you want, but more importantly, like, you really just speak with your wallet when it comes to these things. And like the professor said, if you like it, then buy it. If you don't, and if there are enough people who are in agreement with you of like, yeah, I don't really like this one, this was a miss, then they'll change the direction of it. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how the modern one goes, because this is their first foray more into other formats. So it might muddy it then, but
Yeah, the Lord of the Rings one. Hopefully we get some dwarf reprints or some new dwarfs for Magda. That's all I'm hyped on.
All right, guys. Thanks everybody for watching. Don't forget to check out our other YouTube channels or other podcast episodes we've done. But with that, everybody stay basic and have a wonderful day.
yeah.